Now, in our network, we want switch 1 to actually always be the root bridge for all the 3 VLANs. So it is a switch that is directly connected to the router. So we will probably need to remove this multi-layer and then connect it to the switch, to the router, back to the router. So it kind of makes sense for all the traffic to flow through it first, right? So we never want STP to randomly elect switch 2 or switch 3 as the root. So that will route all the traffic through the wrong switch. Now there's 2 ways to make a switch the root bridge. Method 1, we can set the low priority manually. Like for example, we can go to switch 1. We turn spec switch 1, and we could, alright, let's just switch to a CLI and then enable and then configure terminal. So we could do something like spanning tree VLAN 10, and then we can set priority to 4096. So we can do the same thing with VLAN 20, and then we could do the same thing with VLAN 30. Or alternatively, we could method 2 is to use a shortcut command that Cisco provides. So we could do something like spanning tree VLAN 10 root primary. So that's the second method. So we can do the same thing with 20, and then we can do the same thing with 30. Now the root primary is macro smart. So it looks at the current root bridge priority, subtract 4096, and sets this switch priority to this value. So if the current root is say 32,768, then this switch gets set to 24,576. So it's guaranteed to win the election. Now we need to verify that it is a root. So we can just say okay, let's end this and then we can just say show spanning tree VLAN 10. Alright, so you can actually see the root ID, right? The root ID in the bridge section, it should show the same priority and the MAC address, confirming that this switch is the root bridge. So the line this bridge is the root bridge should actually appear. Can you actually see? You see, there it is. So that line that says this is a root bridge, it should appear. So there is a design rule. So in a properly designed network, the root bridge should always be a distribution layer switch, right? So the switch that is closest to the router. So in our case, that is switch 1, which connects directly to the router. So this ensures that the most efficient traffic path, the traffic flows from access switches upwards to the root, then gets routed. So if a random access switch becomes a root, traffic takes longer and then it becomes inefficient. So it's just an inefficient path through the network. So the best practice, you must always designate a secondary root bridge. So if switch 1 fails, we want switch 2 to take over as a root. So not switch 3 with its random MAC address. So on switch 2, we could actually do something. So I'm going to go to switch 2 and let's go to CLI, and then we enable and then configure terminal. Then we can say spanning tree VLAN 10 and then root and then secondary. Then we can do the same thing with VLAN 20 and then the same thing with VLAN 30 as well. So the root secondary macro sets a priority to 28,672. So it's lower than the default 32,768, but higher than the primary root of 24,576. So the hierarchy is switch 1 primary root and then switch 2 secondary root. Switch 3 is just a regular switch, which is perfect.